Operation Paperclip, a secret U.S. intelligence program that brought over 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians to America after World War II. But why did the U.S. government, a nation that had just fought against the Nazis, go to great lengths to bring these individuals into the fold? And more importantly, what was the cost? To truly understand Operation Paperclip, we need to dive deep into the aftermath of World War II. It was a time of great tension, the beginning of what we now call the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union were in a race, not just for military superiority, but for technological dominance. At the end of World War II, Germany was in ruins. Its scientific community, which had made significant advances in fields like rocket technology, aviation, and medicine, was scattered. Many of these scientists had worked for the Nazi regime, developing weapons and technology that had been used in the war effort, most notably the V-2 rocket, the first long-range guided ballistic missile. The Allies, primarily the United States and the Soviet Union, knew that whoever captured these scientists in their research would gain a significant advantage in the Cold War. This led to a secret scramble between the two nations. The U.S. had one goal: to prevent this valuable talent from falling into Soviet hands. In 1945, the U.S. government initiated what would become known as Operation Paperclip. Originally, it was called Operation Overcast, but it was later renamed because of the paperclips that were attached to the files of the scientists. These files were often stamped with warnings about their Nazi affiliations, but for many in Washington, this was a minor detail compared to what these men could offer. The objective was simple: recruit the best minds in Germany and bring them to America to work on military and scientific projects. Many of these scientists had direct ties to Nazi war crimes, yet their expertise was considered too valuable to pass up. One of the most well-known figures brought over during Operation Paperclip was Wernher von Braun, a rocket scientist who had developed the V-2 missile for Nazi Germany. Von Braun and his team were integral in helping the United States develop its space program, eventually leading to the success of NASA's Apollo missions. But there was a darker side to von Braun's work. Many of the V-2 rockets he designed were built using forced labor from concentration camps, resulting in the deaths of thousands. Arthur Rudolph, another prominent figure in Operation Paperclip, went on to become a key architect of the Saturn V rocket, which powered the Apollo missions. However, like von Braun, he had been involved in the exploitation of forced labor during the war. Operation Paperclip was not without its controversies. While these scientists were instrumental in America's post-war scientific and military advancements, their Nazi past raised serious ethical questions. In many cases, their involvement in war crimes was downplayed or even hidden by U.S. officials. The idea that the U.S. would recruit individuals who had been involved in some of the darkest chapters of human history was met with outrage by many Americans. Documents were altered and histories were scrubbed clean to facilitate their entry into the U.S. Under normal circumstances, many of these individuals might have been prosecuted at the Nuremberg trials. Instead, they were given jobs, housing, and a new identity, sometimes even citizenship. Despite the ethical concerns, the impact of Operation Paperclip on America's scientific and military progress cannot be overstated. These scientists contributed to advancements in rocketry, aerodynamics, chemical engineering, and medicine. Wernher von Braun's work directly led to the U.S. space race success, culminating in the moon landing in 1969. In many ways, Operation Paperclip set the stage for the technological competition that defined much of the Cold War. The race for space, the development of intercontinental ballistic missiles, and advancements in aerospace technology were all accelerated by the contributions of these former Nazi scientists. Operation Paperclip is a complex and often uncomfortable chapter in American history. It was a program born out of necessity, driven by the urgency of the Cold War. But it also raises important questions about morality in times of national interest. How far should a nation go in pursuit of scientific and military dominance? And at what cost? The legacy of Operation Paperclip continues to be debated. But one thing is clear: without it, the trajectory of the 20th century, from the Cold War to the space race, might have looked very different. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most controversial moments. Drop a comment below. What do you think about Operation Paperclip? Was it a necessary evil, or did it go too far?